What's going on, YouTube? So you already know what this is from the second I pull up. This, of course, is the king of American luxury SUVs, the latest 2024 Cadillac Escalade. So, is this worth $101,000? Let's go ahead and find out. All right, so let's go ahead and start things off under the hood like always. So the 2024 Escalade will continue to have a 6.2 liter V8 on most versions this year, produces 420 horsepower paired to a 10-speed automatic transmission, and your combined fuel economy is 16 miles per gallon.
Now, of course, we'll be taking this Escalade out on the road, and on that test drive, we're going to be getting things like our signature sound level reading. And after that, we will also be discussing the pricing of this model, as well as two new elements that we're adding to our videos, predicted resale value, as well as reliability. So you'll want to stay tuned for that.
But first, let's go ahead and close up the hood, because a big part of a luxury SUV is what it looks like on the outside, and then we'll check out the luxurious interior. Now, like I said at the introduction, the exterior of the Escalade really is unmistakable. It's just one of those signature things. It's very bold, it's very imposing, and everyone will know you are in a Escalade. Now, we have the premium luxury today. What that's going to do is give you a lot of chrome, a lot of shiny elements. So you've got that kind of satin finish up here along the outside edges, some chrome sparkles through the center section. You can get this all blacked out though if you prefer the sport design theme as well. And if you get the platinum grade, that's going to get you some chrome bars in the grille. Now, in terms of our headlights, of course, that's also going to be premium. Full LED lights standard across the board. These are very nice crystal designs going on through here. You also have the cool signature daytime running light turn signal indicator, which is very, very tall. It goes all the way down the front. Again, adding to that unmistakable look. Now, as we come around to the rear design, Escalade, of course, just always has a signature look, and that continues for 2024.
Yeah, it is bold and imposing. That is the name of the game when it comes to these large luxury SUVs. And really one of the main elements for why it's so bold and imposing, and a signature design element that the Escalade has had for many years, are these full-length LED taillights. Now, I went ahead and insinuated that these are full LED. As you can see, we do have an LED brake light portion, LED reverse light, and an LED turn signal indicator. I really love the taillight design. It also has that same animation that you get in the front as well, and it's really a cool taillight. It's kind of very 3D if you actually look inside of the unit itself. We have big chrome branding through here, or a Cadillac emblem. And then down here at the very bottom, this is finished in a piano black. We also have dual trapezoidal exhaust outlets finished in chrome here on the premium luxury. If you choose a sport, it's going to be finished in black. As far as your tow rating, it can tow up to 8,200 pounds with a 6.2 liter with two-wheel drive. Do keep in mind, though, that the ESV tows a little bit less.
Now, when it comes to the wheels, every single Escalade will come standard with 22-inch alloy wheels. Here at the premium luxury, we've got this full silver finish, basically. They actually even cover up the lug nuts in the center with the Cadillac logo. Obviously, again, you can get some contrast options and a lot of different choices for whatever you prefer. And then moving up here to our mirrors, we have all the features you would expect. So you have heating, blind spot monitoring, power folding, and you also have auto dimming on the driver's side.
Now, here at the side, you can probably tell by just how small I look overall, just how big this Escalade is. It's very big. Now, as far as the overall vehicle length, it's around 212 inches long for the standard wheelbase, as you see today. If you want the extra space version, the ESV, it's going to be about 227 inches long. I would recommend that fits in your garage before you buy that, though, because that is a massive vehicle. Now, as far as your safety systems are concerned, I do want to dive into this as well, because we do have a 2024 change. Now, Cadillac is including 3 out of your 4 active safety features as standard equipment on every single Escalade model. But new for 2024, if you choose all but that very base model, so premium, luxury, and above, you will now get Cadillac Super Cruise system, which also includes adaptive cruise control, as you would expect. as standard equipment. So I'm very happy to see that they're expanding the availability of Super Cruise. It's a really good hands-free highway driving system. And if you want to check out a detailed tutorial, we do actually have that on our channel. But guys, that's it for the exterior design of this Escalade. Let's hop into the very luxurious cabin. But first, if you're new here, we're brothers, and we've been reviewing cars since we were 12
and 16. We may be young, but we love cars.
And we'd love for you to subscribe to be a part of our Car Confections family. Let's learn a lot, have some fun with all the latest cars.
All right, now let's get to the part you're really waiting for, the interior. Of course, we'll take a look at the key fob. This is your typical Cadillac key fob. You got the branding here. You do have, obviously, remote start as well on the back of the fob. And then getting inside, you are going to have approach lighting, and you also have some touch sensors behind here for the electronic door handle release. And go ahead and take a look inside the interior. No big design changes for 2024, but that of course was not needed because this has been a very luxurious place since this new generation first came out. And first of all, with this interior review, I want to go ahead and talk about your seat options as well as some color choices. So the base model will come with a leatherette. However, your premium luxury and your sport models will come with the Moulin leather you see here. This is a genuine leather, nice looking, feels premium as well. It does have color contrast piping on the outside edges. And if you want the best experience, you're going to need to choose the Premium Luxury Platinum or the Sport Platinum, which will get you semi-aniline leather, which has a special quilted design and a few additional color choices. Now, of course, on the door trim, you are going to find some memory seat functions. The seats themselves are going to have 12 ways of adjustment as standard equipment. 16-way power with massage comes on the Platinum versions as well. But let's go ahead and get inside. Now we do have running boards on this model. Power deploying running boards are available. And of course, here's the fun animation. Continues to be a really beautiful animation that shows off those great displays, which we'll talk about in a second. But let's go ahead and get into the overall cabin materials. Now, like I mentioned, when you choose a Platinum spec, you do get a little bit fancier materials, but you're still going to have very nice stuff here with the Premium Luxury, full leather covering top to bottom. We have a genuine wood. This has a gloss finish, as you can tell. When we go to the upper parts here, we're going to have leather trim through here, leather trim through there. More of that wood being used all the way across, as well as through this entire console area. And then you've got some leather along the console here for your knee to rest against. Let's go ahead and fire it up with the push button start. All right, so now that we fired it up, let's go ahead and get into some of the individual details. Obviously, 38-inch display here. We have the OLED display. If you've watched any of our previous coverage of the Escalade, you know that this is a very impressive display because it has this beautiful curve, and it's basically kind of 3 displays that all work together to make that full 38 inches. Each one of them is really crisp resolution. You can see that demonstrated very clearly here with our augmented reality gauge cluster that we have up right now, but I can also change it to a traditional gauge or a map display if you prefer to see something like that. In addition to that, we have a 15-inch head-up display up top, which gives you a lot of additional information on board. Now, pulling back to the steering wheel, you're going to notice rain sensing wipers. You're going to notice a nice leather wrapped steering wheel with integration of metal and wood. We also, of course, have our Super Cruise features here, which just kind of alerts you if the system is going to deactivate or if you're not paying attention. The wheel itself is power tilt and telescoping on all models, and we also have steering wheel heating as well. Now, let's go ahead and turn over here to our console and go through some interior storage. So opening this up, you'll notice this is loaded down with donuts, and that is because this is Car Confections after all. So we like to do the donut test and see how many will fit into the console. The answer today is all of them. Just yes, the donuts will fit. 24 donuts, that's right, 24 donuts. That's all we even bring with us. So it takes care of whatever you're going to throw at it, that's for sure. Up in front of that, under this wood, you have 2 cup holders, another little storage cubby couple of USB connections. This is actually your wireless phone charging pad, so you just kind of insert your phone down into that. It will hold it in place and charge it right up. All right, so let's take a look at our shifter. Just a electronic style shifter. Pull back for drive. You do have paddle shifters on the steering wheel if you want to use those. When you go into reverse, all Escalades will come with this 360 camera. This has a lot of different functions that you can choose between. Of course, the fan favorite is kind of the 3D spin all around the vehicle. Gives you a good perception of everything that's around it, and the resolution is really good as well. And just press the P on top there to park. Back behind that, you have a couple knobs. The big knob is for the infotainment system, but it is also a touchscreen. And the smaller knob is for our audio systems. So you do get an AKG sound system as standard equipment. It's 19 speakers. That's what we have today, and we'll give that a sample in just a second. But I do also want to mention the 36 speaker AKG sound system, which is available on the higher level Escalades. And that's the one that has speakers coming out of everywhere, basically. But let's sample this one. So overall sound quality is excellent with this system. I mean, if you're a huge audio person, then definitely upgrade, because that top tier AKG is truly one of the finest sound systems Mason and I have ever heard in a vehicle. But this one here is definitely really, really good as well. All right, so let's take a look at our climate controls next. So we do have a 3-zone climate setup. As standard equipment, very simple to use. I like the nice rolling animation that we have here. It is automatic, like I said. Your seat controls, though, are going to be over here on the door trim. You do have standard heated seats, and then ventilated seats start on the premium luxury trim level. In terms of above that, obviously we do have the main part of the infotainment system. This is a Q infotainment system, so this is going to be a little bit behind actually the latest version that we see with the Cadillac Lyriq. That has the new Android Automotive based system. This is not quite up to that level, but the functionality and the overall design are very, very similar to each other. We've got all the important stuff you're going to want. So you've got the nice interface here, which is good and responsive. Built-in navigation right there, which you can see pull up right now. We also have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, both of which will run wirelessly. Up top, you have a rear camera mirror with HomeLink universal remotes built in right there. And then let me go ahead and find the right button here. There's a lot of buttons up here. There it is. Go ahead and open up the sunshade for our standard panoramic sunroof. So it's a pretty large piece of glass. As you can see, it does go all the way back to the second row, but you're not going to get a third row sunroof like you do in some of the competition.
So let's go ahead and see how baller the rear seat is in this Escalade. Now this is where many celebrities and rappers all sit for the past 20 years that the Escalade has been around. This has been the choice of many people getting chauffeured around. There's a reason for that, because first of all, you just kind of feel like a king just sitting back here. And second of all, there is a lot of features as well, and a lot of space. I'll talk about the space first. We're sitting at about 41.7 inches of legroom. You're gonna have about 39 inches of headroom. So really anyone besides Shaquille O'Neal should fit back here perfectly fine. I'm 5'9" for reference. This seat is adjusted to Drew, who's 5'8", and with that adjustment, we are sitting at about 8 inches of knee space. That's something we like to measure in all of our Car Confections reviews. We can also slide our feet up underneath of the seat. And then as far as the seat itself, it does slide forward and back a very good distance to get you, different configurations. If you want more room in the third row or more room in the second row, it also does recline a very good amount. Now, let's also talk about the features here. So we do have a 3-zone climate system as standard, so you can adjust your own temperature back here. We also have heated rear seats that are standard on the vast majority of Escalade models. Dropping below that, we have 2 cup holders that come out. We also have 2 HDMI ports and 2 USB-C ports and a household style outlet. So you should be able to keep everything charged up. I also like that this is leather wrapped. Why do you have so many HDMI ports? Well, that's because we actually have the optional rear seat entertainment system. So as you can see, these are dual 12.6-inch displays. These are very nice displays. They also have projection ability, so you can project from your phone onto the screen itself. So that's definitely very nice. Now, as far as the seating configurations themselves, captain's chairs are standard equipment. You can also get bench seating if you prefer to have the extra seating configurations on some versions of the Escalade. Now, as far as the door trim is concerned, leatherette on the upper part. We have wood trim in there, leather armrest portion. Oddly enough, no rear window sunshade, so that's something a little bit odd that the Escalade does not include. However, down at the bottom, you have a ton of door storage. It's actually big enough to fit an entire Stanley water bottle. I know those are the rage right now. Stanley water bottle, it will fit in the door trim of this Escalade. And let's go ahead and check out the third row. So in order to get back here, it's real simple. You just grab that lever once, and then twice will actually release the seat up out of the floor, so you can easily get back to the third row. Now, as far as the third row is concerned, the Escalade, certainly since we went to this new generation, has been one of the best third rows that money can buy. That's going to continue this year. We're sitting at about 35 inches of legroom for the standard wheelbase version of the Escalade. If you choose the ESV, it extends out to about 36.6 inches of legroom. You're still going to have about 39 inches of headroom as well. So this is a very good amount of space. Like I mentioned, I'm 5'9", so you could certainly fit 3 adults back here. May not be ideal, but 3 adults could fit in this third row, and my feet can also slide up underneath the seat. This seat is slid all the way back, and I still have about 1.5 inches of additional knee room. The thigh support is excellent as well. As far as features, we do have a cup holder. We also have charging USB ports and vents out of the ceiling. However, you will be missing that your own moonroof that some of the rivals do have. You also do not have third row seat heating as an option on this Escalade. And as far as how that ranks on our third row rating scale, this is fit for adults. All right, and walking up to the cargo area, of course you need to haul a bunch of stuff with you if you buy an Escalade as well as people. So in order to get back here, we do have a hands-free power tailgate as standard. You can just push the Cadillac logo, or a Cadillac logo will also appear down on the ground, and you can kick underneath the tailgate. Now, as far as this area is concerned, we're sitting at about 25 cubic feet behind the third row of seats. If we fold the third row down, which we do have a standard power folding third row, by the way, it's a very quick power folding third row. We're going to have around 63 cubic feet of space. If we fold all the seats in the standard wheelbase version, we are going to be sitting at a maximum of 109 cubic feet for this standard wheelbase Escalade model. That's a ton of space, guys, as you would expect. This is a very big vehicle. It translates to a lot of cargo space. If you want the maximum space, get the ESV. That will boost your maximum rating up to about 142 cubic feet. So that is insane amounts of space and about 30 cubic foot more than the standard wheelbase. Okay, I already mentioned that the third row, power folding third row is standard. We also have a household outlet here. And if I lift up the cargo floor, there's a little bit of underfloor storage here. There is a spare tire integrated under the bumper. And I do also want to point out that the rear glass does pop completely independent of the tailgate itself, which I know a lot of you guys like that feature. It's a big SUV after all, so if you're looking to haul something long, let's go ahead and get the figure with the seat adjusted to someone who's 5'8". We're sitting at about 90 inches of overall cargo length. Behind the second row of seats, we're going to be sitting around 50 inches of overall length. Let's get the overall cargo opening. And the overall cargo opening is going to be about 49 inches wide. Well guys, here we are behind the wheel of the 2024 Cadillac Escalade. In this test drive, we're going to be talking about quite a few different things, as you can see on the screen right now, including getting our signature sound level reading. But first, we're going to go ahead and start with a hard acceleration. Gotta love the V8 burble.
Absolutely. That, of course, is really, you know, one of the signature things about the Escalade, obviously, is American V8 muscle. And that's something that I don't anticipate going away anytime soon. The 6.2 liter V8 engine, that's what most people pick. There is actually also a turbo diesel that you can choose as well, but the 6.2 V8, 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque, sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Nice and smooth. And it just has plenty of power.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big gal. Escalades are big, and 420 horsepower, 460 pound-feet of torque is certainly enough power to just overcome this vehicle's weight. And like Drew said, it just delivers the power in such a luxurious and refined way. It's certainly a nice overall experience, and I think that's why most people end up choosing the 6.2 liter, is just because of that overall very refined experience.
Now, as far as the other aspect of the powertrain, we've got a 10-speed automatic transmission. This is a transmission that General Motors uses in a lot of their truck applications, and it's a good transmission. It has a lot of gears, but it doesn't ever feel confused. It's very good at getting you into the right gear, delivering you the right amount of power when you need it.
Yeah, and as far as how that power is routed to the ground, you have standard two-wheel drive or optional four-wheel drive across the trim lineup. Do keep in mind, four-wheel drive is about a $3,000 option, so it's not super cheap to choose four-wheel drive. That will be an extra cost that you'll have to factor in if you want four-wheel drive. And as far as your fuel economy is concerned, let's talk about that. We're sitting at about 16 miles per gallon combined, so 14, 18, 16 for the 6.2 liter four-wheel drive, which is the most common configuration. It's also 16 if you choose two-wheel drive, and then if you choose the diesel is of course going to get better fuel economy, so do keep that in mind. If you're more fuel economy minded, you might want to choose the diesel option. But thankfully, we're out of a little bit of traffic and we're just kind of cruising down, going around 40 miles an hour. And I want to talk about the ride quality for this Escalade. Now, of course, that is a main focus when you're talking about a large luxury three-row, is the ride quality. And this car nails it. The Escalade is really fantastic. First of all, I want to point out the seats are extremely comfortable. Additionally, we're going to get magnetic ride control as standard. We have an optional air suspension. This particular Tester actually does not have it, but it still is very good just overall in ride quality to have the, magnetic ride control. It really handles it phenomenally.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad to test out one without the air suspension this time, because it can give us a little bit of insight into what it feels like without that. In terms of your difference, I mean, it's not going to be the biggest difference ever. You're just going to... The air suspension kind of cuts out, I would say, those small vibrations.
Yeah.
So you can feel some slight vibrations because it is a truck frame, of course. But with that air suspension, that even cuts those out.
All right, and we're speeding up to 55 so we can get our sound level reading in this Escalade to see how luxurious this SUV is. 55.5 decibels is our official sound level reading, going 55 miles per hour on fan speed 1. And that is a very good sound level reading. I'm excited to see how it compares to some of the other luxury SUVs on the market, because we have all of that posted on carconfections.com/sound level reading. So if you want to know the quietest options in the segment, you'll certainly want to check out our website, where you can see all of the sound level readings for all the vehicles that we've ever tested. And that does indeed place it as one of the middle options in the segment when it comes to luxury SUVs. It's going to be a little bit quieter, ironically enough, than the GMC Yukon Denali that we tested out, but it lands just a little bit above the Mercedes GLS and BMW X7, and it's underneath of the LX 600. So pretty much middle of the pack when it comes to that sound level reading. I imagine some of the noise entering into the cabin is that wonderful V8, which I'm sure a lot of of you guys won't be too upset about. But I think it's also a good time for us to go ahead and get into our slam dunk and airball. Drew, do you want to kick us off with the slam dunk, which is our favorite element about this Escalade?
So the slam dunk is the space. Space is the ultimate luxury. And that's really the reason why I think most people buy a vehicle this large, is because you need that space. You want that capability, and you want to go anywhere and do anything, and this Escalade is going to have you covered.
And as far as our airball is concerned, it will be the technology. Not at all saying that the technology is bad. However, the one thing that we want to point out is that the screen setup that you get in the XT4 and the Lyric is actually a little bit more advanced than what you're going to get in this Escalade. You know, of course, this Escalade came out in 2021 model year, so, you know, those cars have a few more years on them, and I'm sure they will update the Escalade to have an even cooler display here shortly, but for 2024, it's actually going to be a little bit smaller than the newest Cadillac designs in some of their other products. And lastly, as far as your warranty, it's going to be a 4-year, 50,000 mile basic warranty, a 6-year, 70,000 mile powertrain warranty. You do also get your first maintenance visit covered by Cadillac. And let's go ahead and talk about pricing. Now, all this luxury doesn't come cheap, and indeed, we started around $81,895 this year. That's for a luxury 2-wheel drive. 4-wheel drive adds an additional $3,000 to all of the prices that you see on the screen right now. ESV is an additional expense as well. Now, as far as the particular tester that we're looking at today, this is going to start at $96,195 for the 4-wheel drive premium luxury, plus the rear seat entertainment, the paint color, and destination. We're sitting at $101,410 as tested today. And if you're looking to buy a Cadillac Escalade or any new vehicle, we would encourage you to go to carconfections.com/newcarquotes. Now, why you do that is because we have a tool on our website that will connect you with local car dealers in your area to get you the best price on your new vehicle. It's also going to give you access to invoice pricing information, which is a great tool for dealer negotiation. If you'd like to take advantage of that, a link is provided in our video description. So now it's time for us to talk about potential resale value and potential reliability. First up, we're going to talk about resale value. Now, as an economics graduate myself, Drew and I took the time to develop what we think is a good estimate for this Escalade's potential resale value. We estimate that after 5 years, this vehicle will be worth around 41% of its original value, or $41,000, and around 14% of its original value after 10 years, or around $14,000.
We've also done the same for potential reliability by developing the Combined Reliability Index, which takes a combination of trusted automotive sources for reliability data and combines them into one. Based on this ranking, Cadillac is rated above average in relation to all other vehicle makes.
If you'd like to check out all of our data about reliability and resale values, as well as learn about our methodology, make sure to head to carconfections.com/resale and /reliability. Buying a car is a big decision, and this is a great place to go if you're cross-shopping between different vehicle makes. And that's going to be it for our in-depth review of the 2024 Cadillac Escalade. If you enjoyed watching this video or found it helpful in your purchasing decisions, we would really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button down below. By subscribing, you help get us access to vehicles like this where we can come out and sample the latest 2024 Escalade. So we would really appreciate it if you subscribed down below and became a part of our Car Confections family. We do a lot of car reviews, and I'm sure you won't want to miss out. If you're already a part of our family, thank you so much for your continued support, and we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.